us online. I know we've been keeping you waiting, but we promise that the wait is going to be worth it. And we are coming to you from Belgaum and all over the world. So glad you could join us in person also. And again, I would like to welcome Ajit Patil from Rivot Motors Australia. Please give a big round of applause.
All right, so a very good evening to everyone. And thank you for being here on an evening on weekend. Sorry to keep you waiting, and also to the people who are waiting for us online. I drove from Belgaum to Bangalore in the morning, so you might find me a little tired, but that's because apart from driving from Belgaum to Bangalore, we have also not slept for the last 2 or 3 days, I guess, or nights. So I won't take any more time, and let me begin with what we are here for. So can I have the clicker, please? So while we are waiting for the slide to come up, let me take you back to how it all started. In the year 2009, I bought an electric vehicle. It was an electric scooter, and I went against the will and wish of my family to actually buy one. But since the time I bought it, I had nothing but just trouble. So for about 5 years, I was trying to fix the scooter and make it worth for a user. And in the process, I ended up knowing so much about electric vehicles that in fact, I never thought that I will actually build a brand or build a company of electric vehicle. But in 2016, something happened. I saw so many electric vehicle startups coming up, and that is when I thought, why not make a company out of this? That's how the journey started. But then, looking at what was available in the market currently, I saw there were so many gaps. Gaps like the range and the usability. So keeping that in the mind, the first thing we wanted to target was the range. And if you look at the map on the screen right now, what we are claiming is the scooter can actually do Belgaum to Bengaluru trip with just one recharge in between. And that's the whole thing. The journey started with how we could do higher range on an electric scooter. So that's my first electric vehicle. It had a range of 40 kilometers. And that's how it all started from. In 2016, I started researching about the electric vehicle industry, and from there, the whole journey of making this scooter started. And I'd like to play a small video for you to see how it all happened. that was the journey, how it started, and today we have um, the entire product ready for the launch. Before I go deep into the product technicality, um, let me just tell you that the actual presentation I had come up with is not the one which we are playing right now. We had some issue with the presentation, and we have to redo the whole presentation since morning. So let me quickly take you through the technical stuffs for of the scooter. So to be able to get the range we wanted, we started working backward, and the first thing we picked up was the motor. If you look at the motor design, it's so what we did with the motor is we actually tried to put together the IPMSM motor and the SYN-RN motor together and came up with a motor which is efficient at both low RPM and high RPM. So that's about the motor. So we also worked on the chassis, and if you look at the chassis, the way it's designed is to allow me to put the maximum amount of battery pack into the chassis. The chassis is one of its kind, and if you see the kind of metal we have used is actually the tube and the investment casting, which has helped us to reduce the weight of the chassis. And that's the battery pack. So if you look at the chemistry of the battery pack, what we already have in the market is either NMC or LFP. But what we did is we worked with the battery supplier, and we came up with something called LIMFP, which actually gives you the best of both the worlds. It gives you the stability of LFP and also gives you the density of an NMC chemistry, and which is why we are able to pack about 5.7 kilowatt hour of energy into a small battery pack like this. See, the motor controller is actually embedded into the chassis, which is why if you see the temperature is taken care of by the chassis itself. So one unique thing about the controller is we are able to actually get about 35% of the brake regeneration whenever you brake. Unlike what happens normally, every time you brake, we are able to gather only 10% of the energy lost in the braking. And one of the reasons why we are getting the range we are claiming is because of the brake regeneration, which is about 35%. So the headlight is actually engineered and designed all in-house, and it houses few things which are unique in its category. We have a dash cam in the headlight, which actually allows us to record everything which is happening while you are riding. During my usage as an electric vehicle user, one of the problem I had was the charger. The charger brick is so painful to use. Every time you want to use it, you have to take it out, and it will be hanging around all the time. So what we have done for our onboard charger is we have integrated the onboard charger into the scooter. So every time you want to charge, you have to just pull the cord as per the length you need, and you just plug it in. You don't have to carry the entire charging block with you. It's always in your scooter on board. So generally what we have seen is when we are actually taking our scooter for fast charging network, the place where the fast charger port is connected or put is so unconventional or so uncomfortable that it's very difficult for a normal person to put it in. So what we have done is we have placed the fast charging socket right in front of it, just like how you see it in the car. So the boot space, what we have right now is about 45 liters plus. It's actually the highest in the industry. We can put a full face two helmets into the boot space. So one of the thing we have put in our scooter is something called auxiliary power unit. What it actually does is, if you run out of battery while you are riding, you will still have about 15 to 20 kilometers of range with this auxiliary power unit. It is situated, it is put in a place of a traditional conventional petrol scooter's silencer or the exhaust place, but it has a battery pack which actually allows you to reach the office and or the nearest place for charging. So that's how the scooter looks like, and that's the spec. Now let me ask my team to get the scooter on the stage. So, you know what? Let me be very honest. I'm nervous and tired. I've been driving last night, haven't slept, and but after seeing what we have been working on for so long, I'm really charged up now. So this entire scooter we built from the grounds up, and it's completely made in Belgavi. Can we have some claps, please? Now, why am I stressing so much on Belgavi? I've lived my life in Bangalore. I've been here for a good decade. But I wanted to give something back to my home city, and that's why I went back. ಈಗ ನಮ್ದು ಕನ್ನಡ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೇರೆ ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ. ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಕನ್ನಡ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೇರೆ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಆದ್ರೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡದಾಗ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ನಾ. ಇದು ನಂದು ಹಠ ಇತ್ತು. ಏನಿದ್ರು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಇದ್ರೂ ನಾ ಬೆಳಗಾಂದಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. So what I'm trying to say here is I was stubborn and adamant that everything which goes on the scooter will have to be made in Belgavi. And every bit of the scooter is actually made in Belgavi. The software, the hardware, the electronics, the metal, the aluminum, the sheet metal, the seat, the headlight, and everything else. So I'm really proud of what I have done. I'm really proud of my team. I'm really proud of my city, who has actually helped me to build what we have today. We have some people who have helped us to build this, and I'm really grateful to all of you guys. But we're not done yet. This is just not one scooter we are talking about today. When we were building this scooter, we always felt that there are some people like petrol heads who do not like to ride scooters, and if at all, if they ever want to ride scooter, what kind of scooter would they like to actually buy? And that is when we thought we will actually, as a tribute to those people who are into motor racing or into high octane kind of thing, we have actually come up with another model which is dedicated and only for people who actually love motor riding or motorbiking. So allow me to introduce another model we have to you, the NX100 Sports. Okay, the PPT was really very boring, and I didn't like it. So let me talk about the elements on the scooter itself. So if you look at the grill here, it's one of its kind. And right behind the grill is what we have is the controller. Now, We have seen cases where things get heated up and the scooter stops. And that's why we made this design. If it's one of its kind and the entire controller is right behind that grill, when you see it in person later tonight, you'll really like the way the design has been done. Every component on this scooter is actually kind of hand-carved. So while I would love to demonstrate every part of this, but in the interest of time, let me leave the scooters with you guys to later on check it out and feel good about it. So that was, oops, I almost forgot about the sports variant. So we didn't stop at just the street variant and the sports variant. We also know there is a category of people who are more into off-roading. They don't like riding on the streets or on a racetrack for that matter. So we built this scooter which it just doesn't look like an off-road vehicle. It's also built like one. And I personally want to dedicate this to the Indian Army from our company. Thank you. So now the beauty about this particular vehicle is what we are working on right now. If that goes through, this will be giving you 500 kilometers of range. And that will be one of its kind. So the scooter is put up on the platform there, and one can check it out there. Now, we had a last-minute power failure back there at the backstage. That's why we couldn't ride it up on the stage, but it's available for people to check it out. Now, can I ask the riders to put the scooters back on their stage so people can see it there? Now, while they're doing that, let me go through the slides. Okay, hold on 1 second. So just put the scooters back in the center, and I'd like to call the team back up on the stage. So allow me to introduce my team. Rivot Motors team. Come on the stage, please. So every one of the team member here has been working from the past 1 week without a break and absolutely no sleep. Thank you so much, guys. All right, so while we were out on social media disclosing bit by bit of our scooter, one question which was always asked to us every time and each time was, how much are these things going to cost you? So allow me to reveal the cost or pricing for these scooters. So that's the spec for each of the scooter. The street variant will actually come in three options, which is Classic, Pro, and Max. And each of them will have 100 kilometers, 200 kilometer, and 300 kilometer range, respectively. It's mentioned as 300 kilometers because it's including the APU as well, which gives you another 15, 20 kilometers. No, I don't believe in keeping the suspenses for the pricing, so allow me to introduce the pricing. And that's the pricing for all of these scooters. All right, so we'll bring the slide back up again, but there's one more important thing I want to put it up on the screen. When it started 4 or 5 years back, the dream was not this big, but today we are dreaming big. And I have a small video of what I want to do in my city, Belagavi. All right, guys, so let's put the scooters back at the stage, at the platforms there so people can check it. Hitesh? So we'll put the scooters back on the platforms there so you can see it in person. So I'm handing over the stage to Hitesh to take it over from here onwards. Thank you.
That was a hell of a show. What do you guys think? Give me a round of cheer if you think that was a hell of a show, right? How often does it happen that something so nice and so wonderful gets made in our very own country? I'm a Belgamite myself. It makes me incredibly proud, somewhat humbling to see something like this being made here. As any other Make in India company does, we need your support. We need the support from everyone to turn this into a reality, whether that is honest criticism or whether that's a pat on the back. Anything is appreciated with the right intention. So thank you for coming. Thank you for spending your valuable time. The bikes are going to be put up on the podiums. Have a look. Share it with your friends. You've seen the prices. You know what the EVs today are like. Back it with whatever you can. Thank you so much. The floor is yours to have a look at all the bikes. Have a good day. And just before I forget, the bookings are going to be open in the next few minutes. So you can go to rivotmotors.com and book yourself one of these, and you'll get a timeline of when you will be able to get them whilst you do the booking. So thank you so much again. Rivotmotors.com. Thank you. Check, check. Hello, everyone. We have served dinner in the hall besides us. So, if you go through the door on the right side of this hall, dinner has been served. Request everyone to have a meal and then proceed. Thank you.